You know that feeling, right? That little voice in your head that tells you to just quit, usually right when you're about to achieve something amazing. Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down how to build the mental muscle you need to shut that voice down for good and actually hit those huge goals you've set for yourself.
Okay, let's kick things off with this really powerful idea because it sets the stage for everything. Our bodies, yeah, they have limits. We get tired, we get sore, that's just a fact. But our minds? The potential there is, well, it's basically infinite. And once you really get that, it's a total game changer.
So that leads to the big question, right? If your mind is your greatest weapon, this limitless tool you've got, how in the world do you actually train it for the tough road ahead? So where do you even start this whole journey? It all begins with one single, absolutely critical thing, knowing exactly where you're going. Before you can be relentless, you've got to know what you're being relentless for.
And the way to do this is actually pretty simple. It's just 3 steps. First, you have to ask yourself, seriously, what do you really want? Then, and this is key, you've got to write it down. Something powerful happens when you put pen to paper. It forces you to get clear, and that clarity starts to build a picture in your mind. You start to see it.
And this is just such a powerful reminder of why that vision matters so much. This isn't just about, setting some personal goals. That clear mental image you create, that's the spark that has fueled every single major change in the history of the world.
All right, so you've got your vision. Awesome. But here comes the reality check. The path to making that vision real, it's never going to be a perfectly paved highway. It's always under construction.
Look, you are absolutely going to face these things. It's not an if, it's a when. You're going to get discouraged, you'll lose that initial fire, you're going to hear the word no a lot, you'll get bad breaks, and you will feel that overwhelming urge to just give it all up. Knowing this isn't about being negative, it's about being prepared.
And get this might be one of the most important things to remember. Those really tough moments, those bad breaks that feel like the universe is against you, so often they are a sign that you are right on the edge of a massive breakthrough.
Okay, so you know the storm is coming. How do you prepare your greatest weapon for it? Well, it all comes back to mastering that one thing we talked about, the one thing with no limits, your mind.
And this is where we have to draw a really important line. We spend so much of our time focused on everything from the neck down, right? The physical training, the skills, the practice, but all of that is secondary to what's happening from the neck up. That's where the real battle is won.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it? Mental readiness is the foundation for everything. You can be the most talented, most physically prepared person in the room, but if your mind isn't ready for the pressure, if it's not ready for the fight, then you're just not truly prepared to win.
This brings us to the real heart of it all, the core principle for blasting through any obstacle that gets in your way. It's all about forging a very specific, very powerful attitude.
So what is a relentless attitude? Well, it's basically making up your mind before the fight even starts. You decide right now that you are going to see this through. That way, when the impossible odds show up, or it takes way longer than you thought, or people tell you you're crazy, it just doesn't matter. It's all just noise. Okay, so what does that actually look like in practice? It really comes down to 3 promises you make to yourself. The very first one is this: I am not going to stop believing. This is your promise to protect your vision, especially when that little voice of self-doubt starts whispering.
The second promise is all about how you deal with the outside world. It's simple. I am not going to take no for an answer. When somebody tells you no, you don't hear a dead end, you just hear a problem you need to solve or a person you need to go around.
And the final piece of the puzzle, the third promise, is an absolute refusal to lower your standards. You tell yourself, I am not going to settle for mediocrity. You commit to that big, bold vision you created in the first place, believing in yourself, refusing to take no, and demanding excellence. That is the relentless attitude.
And for the final piece, this might be the most important one of all. To be truly relentless, you have to completely change how you think about winning, and more importantly, how you think about failing.
I mean, listen to that. It couldn't be any clearer. You have to fail to win. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a non-negotiable part of the journey. Think about it. Every single great achievement was built on a pile of mistakes. Failure is just the price of admission.
And that is the real victory. It's not about being so perfect you never stumble. Not at all. The real win is defined by how you respond when you fall. It's about becoming a master at one thing, getting back up again.
So I want to leave you with this question to think about. The next time you fall, the next time you feel that pull to just stay down and quit, I want you to ask yourself, what if my next get back up is the one? What if this time is my breakthrough?